Yo, Skeptic here. If you don't want to watch the whole video, I'll give you the 3 main reasons as to why I'm not making any more videos about Rivals 2 moving forward. Number 1. I feel like my main reason for making videos on Rivals 2 has been more or less accomplished. Number 2. I don't think I provide any type of value to the game currently in terms of content. And number 3, I feel burnt out, and Rivals 2 isn't the main cause of this. I've had this feeling for quite some time since the beginning of this year because of my Terraria Let's Play series, but I'll go over all of that later in this video. So that was the TLDR. If you watched any of my videos, liked the video, disliked the video, commented, subscribed, and whether or not you agreed or disagreed with me, I just want to say thank you so much for hearing me out and engaging with me. I'm not really good at explaining things, so I try my best in these types of videos, and to see the amount of support shown throughout these past couple of months was really motivating and uplifting. If you solely came here for Rivals 2 content and you unsubscribe or you stop watching my videos altogether, I totally understand. And again, I just want to thank you for stopping by and listening to a random dude on the internet talk about video games. I highly appreciate it. Now, for those of you that have made it this far into the video, I'm going to give more context into my 3 main reasons. So, let's start with the first one. I've been following Rivals 2 since the game was first teased, and I was ecstatic. The game went from 2D to 3D, it was adding mechanics that I was familiar with, and because Aether Studios was already experienced in making a well-polished platform fighter, I knew that the gameplay would be nothing short of amazing. I've played Rivals 1 and had Rivals 1 since the game was in early access back in 2015. But I just couldn't get into the game because I felt like it was too different and it was way too hard. Rivals 2, in my eyes, was a window of opportunity, an entryway for me to get into Rivals without feeling too overwhelmed. I was so excited about Rivals 2 that I backed the Kickstarter when it was up, and ever since then, I've stayed up to date with any type of news regarding the game. But the more I learned about Rivals 2, the less enthusiastic I became. The lack of single-player modes on release, ranked not being guaranteed on release, the story mode team getting laid off. There was a lot of things about the game that made me feel less and less confident the more I learned, which ultimately led to me making my first ever video about Rivals 2, my concerns video. Yep, you heard me. It was my Rivals 2 concerns video where I talked about the marketing of the game. The whole goal of that video was to provide an outsider's perspective to either Aether Studios or Off-Brand about their marketing and how I personally felt about it. I made these types of videos about Rivals 2 because I want to see the game grow. I want to see the game succeed, and I want to see more people enjoying the same things that I do. And through those videos, whether or not you agreed or disagreed with me, I felt like I've fulfilled my purpose. Although the game isn't releasing in the most ideal state, I feel like Rivals 2 is heading towards the right path. and whether or not I actually had an impact on the game is another thing. But I personally felt like my initial worries about the game have overall gone away. Outside of providing my own perspectives into various topics, I don't have anything else to add, especially with Rivals 2. I'm not a good fighting game player, I'm not funny or entertaining, and I don't have the best editing skills. So, at this point, I currently have nothing to provide to you all. So, I've made the decision to stop making content for the game moving forward. There are plenty of content creators out there that are making content for this game, and these content creators are way more passionate about the game than I am. They also have better skills than I do, in-game and outside of it. So, instead of watching my low-effort content, I would rather have all of you show support to these content creators instead. Now, if something egregious happens to the game, or if the game flops, which I really hope it doesn't, but if it does, then I'll come back and speak my piece. But until then, this will most likely be my last video on anything Rivals 2 related. And moving on to the final reason, being burnout. This feeling of burnout, as I stated earlier in the video, is not just because of Rivals 2. I have a Terraria Let's Play series that I'm currently doing called A Journey Towards the Moon Lord, and this Let's Play series was created because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see if I could accomplish a goal that I personally set out to do. And while this goal may seem easy to others, to me, it's something that I constantly struggle with. I want to better myself, to not only prove my own worth, but I also want to show others that they can also make improvements in their own lives if someone like me can do what they initially set out to do. As time went on, I could definitely tell that this series has taken its toll on me. But I don't regret doing it because this series has pushed me beyond what I initially thought my limits were. At the time of this recording, the series is still ongoing, and adding Rivals 2 on top of this series only made the feeling of burnout worsen over time. And because I was feeling burnt out, I decided to stop making Rivals 2 content altogether. And I decided to prioritize A Journey Towards the Moon Lord, because this series means a lot more to me personally, and so I want to keep the series going for as long as I can, and hopefully I can finish it. I love making content, and I also like talking about video games. Whether it's about the lore of some games, their development, their marketing, their history, I was always fascinated with video games in general, and Rivals 2 just so happened to be another game that I felt passionate enough to make content for. Now, does this mean that I won't cover Rivals 2 in the future? Absolutely not. But for the time being, I think I'm happy with what I've personally accomplished over these past couple of months. And although this is most likely my last Rivals 2 video, I have one more episode left of my 3-part miniseries called Bite-Sized Rivals, where I hop on Rivals 1 and play a couple matches of Ranked to celebrate the upcoming release of Rivals 2. The final episode will come out sometime next week, so be on the lookout for that, if you're interested, of course. And with that being said, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's made it this far into the video. I hope everyone here has a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you're at, and until next time. Bye!